person that gave me the opportunity to interview him. And at the time, I really didn't know the whole story about everybody, right? I know Modern Soul was hot at the time, and he gave me the opportunity to sit down with him and interview him. So I really thank you, man. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing if it probably wasn't for you, for sure. Because I always had that idea in my mind that I wanted to do interviews. I just didn't know what path it was. And when you gave me that chance, you, Malik, really just you, but you and Malik and others just kind of all from your interview, kind of, okay, I kind of see what's going on here. And, I'd like to be interviewed as well. So again, thank you, Tony, for giving me the chance and to speak with you. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, man, and we really appreciate it too, man. I mean, you're giving us this platform, also, and that's how the raza and the community is gonna work. Just helping each other out, pushing each other up.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and that was one thing that, talking to Joey, that was one thing that he kind of brought up and it was such a clever thing that he did, and I'm sure you guys all were part of as well, is like he's talking about doing it as a community. And what I've seen throughout all the Modern Soul groups is at one point in time, everyone has kind of like helped each other out, and kind of been there for each other. And you don't see that too often. I mean, you kind of seen it maybe back in the rock days, you have a couple guys, step in and join, do a jam sesh, but this has kind of been like a community for the Modern Soul. And I think that's why it's so successful, because you guys are all working together to help each other get to that next level, whether it be through Trish Cholito, the Illusions, the Sinceres. Everyone's kind of holding hands, as it seems, and helping each other get to that next level. And I think that's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, like we said, and like Joe said. Sorry, I call him Joe. That's we go way back, and that's how I call him. I think he talked about it in the one of the interviews. But we all go way back to, like you said, a community of musicians. We've all lived together at one point, including Eric and myself and Joe. Atara lives right down the street from the studio that we all lived in. So
Wow.
she'd always be there too, and we'd always be all making music. She was also part of that collective. We called each other the Steady Rock Easy Groove Factory.
Yeah.
The Groove Factory.
Yeah.
That's what we called it.
Yeah.
And we were all making reggae music, rock steady music, soulful rock steady reggae music all together. One room would be Scarlet and the Fever, another room would be the Delirians, another room would be the Steady 45s, and various other bands coming in and out of those places. And yeah, man, we all helped each other grow. We all helped each other become the musicians we are today. And here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was really refreshing to know that you knew Atara for that long, because I didn't know. I mean, as a fan on the outside, I didn't know that you guys had a relationship for that long. I thought it was more like, hey, we found this gem. We found this gem out of nowhere, and it's like, she's great, So can you tell us, like, the first time that you met her and heard her voice?
I mean, I remember playing with you back with Roots Collective.
That's a while ago.
Yeah, so this is probably like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And like meeting her like for the first time, and her sister like in Pomona in a house, and like playing reggae music, and just having like an enormous talent. And like even then, like I still feel like I didn't even know like how great she was. I knew she was great, but now I'm just like really like she's really coming herself and understanding like, man, she has great ability. But yeah, we've been playing with her. Actually today I saw like a Facebook memory of we meet back Ken Booth. It's the Four Steady 45s.
Oh,
You played
wow.
with yeah, so it's funny. This is like 3 years ago. We backed one of the Jamaican artists at the local club. It's a reggae club called Dub Club. And
I think I joined you guys
yeah,
for that one, right?
yeah. It's like he's a reggae legend, Ken Booth, and Atara came on, and she was one of our singers. And I just saw that memory 3 years ago. We were playing music together, and
Yeah.
I flash forward 3 years, and like now we have a band together. So it's pretty amazing.
Man. Yeah, and it's just magic. So the releases that you guys have been coming out with, they just totally hit, right? I mean, it was like there was no like breaking the chain. Now you guys have had other singers, and do you guys want to touch on that? Just kind of that subject.
Yeah, we started the band with Nira in the band, Nira off of the Sola label, and we had hit her up. I had hit her up to be a part of it, and she was really into it. And we gelled for for the time that we were together, and we didn't really do too much writing, as we were still a new band, we were still finding our sound, so we didn't really do too much writing with Nira, and eventually, just as time went on, she felt like she needed to do her own thing, and we totally supported that. We don't want to hold anyone back. That's like, again, that's what we've been accustomed to doing, is helping each other grow and pushing each other. And so if she wanted to do her own thing, we fully supported that, and she went off and she's doing her solo record with the Sounds of Los Angeles label, and in my opinion, I think it's a great song, and I think it's fantastic. And she got to work with musicians she wouldn't have gotten, probably not had the opportunity to work with, had she stayed in the band, which is good for her. And for us, we were able to work with a singer we've always wanted to work with. So it was a win-win for everybody. And there were never any hard feelings or anything like that. It's a lot of people think like, oh, what happened. No, it was just, people have other opportunities, and they have that right to take those opportunities, and we'll be damned if we held anyone back from succeeding.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, like when I found out like there was new singer, and I was like, "Uh-oh," like, "Whoa," you know what I mean?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
it's never, and it's it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, like you're invested, as a fan, you're invested in that person, and you're feeling like, hey, this is it. And Tara walked in like, here we go, and it hit. It was awesome, and I know the first time that we had talked, and we kind of talked about the pre-interview, like your excitement for her joining up, and I heard it in your voice, like a little kid, kind of like I'm excited that this girl can, like, she sings, she nails all the parts that we want her to nail. Um, so I'm excited for what you guys have coming in the future, and I could see the bond that you guys have in some of the other interviews that I've seen. Another big one too that I heard in another interview that you guys had done is that the writing process is really good between you guys, right? Like there's a certain magic that you guys have. Can you talk about the magic that you guys have together?
Yeah, you know what? It's crazy because I've, like Tony mentioned earlier, like I lived with Tony for a little while, actually up the street right here at a studio, and just like living together, making music together, being on tour together, and like it's not easy always to write with other musicians. Like sometimes the chemistry is not there, and it was always easy to write with Tony. You know what I mean? Like sitting down and throwing chords around, hooks or lyrics and stuff. So it was there's a cool chemistry at least between me and Tony, and then with the Tara in the mix, like she just has her style and her vibe and her input, and it's a great combination that I don't always see in groups, because like a lot of groups is maybe one singer writer, you know what I mean, and it's just really from one person, and it's kind of cool because Tony's a writer, I'm a writer, and then a lot of the musicians in the band are writers too. So it's a really beautiful collective that like I feel privileged to be around personally, because you don't get that a lot in a lot of groups. It's usually just one.
Yeah, and that's really important, I think, because I was just reading up on like Black Sabbath, and they were saying that the drummer and Ozzy were nowhere part of the process of writing for the longest time. And so, I mean, it's at one point it's great because there's not so many hands in the pot, but at the other point, it's like, well, if you don't like the song, here comes a big argument, right? Because this is my vision, this is my thoughts. When I heard that you guys were really, all collabing together, that in my heart, that makes me feel good because I feel like, hey, this is a joint effort. There's no one bigger than each other in the band. It's all joint, and there's a love there, and that's what's coming out with good music. So, again, I like what you guys are doing. I did want to touch about, how many bands have you been in, Tony? Like, I seems like it's crazy. Like, I'll go on YouTube and I'll be like, I'll type in like, the Illusions, and then like 20 bands come up, like old stuff, and how many bands have you guys collectively been in that you can recall?
Jeez, man, I want to say from myself, and then Atara, and then Eric, I want to say at least maybe like 30. If we add them all, if we add them all up, man.
I'm like trying to think how many bands.
Oh my
I've been
gosh.
I've been playing in bands since I was about 14 years old. With Joe, and he and I are both 32 now, and in our 20s, it didn't matter how many bands we were in. We didn't care. We didn't have responsibilities. We didn't have
Right.
nothing to worry about. So anyone hit us up to play, yeah, we're down. We're down. And eventually we all grew to be in the same bands together. Sometimes I would be in one band, then I wouldn't be in that band anymore. Then Eric would be in that band afterwards.
It was definitely a lot of that. Just like a lot of moving around different groups, and it was fun, man. I mean, I feel blessed that I got to play with so many talented musicians.
Yeah.
This is a crazy, like, melting pot of just awesome musicians. Yeah, we all played with each other. We're all like known each other for years.
That's what
That's
trips
fun.
me out. That because like I was in a band at one time, and it was like we were so possessive of each other. Like we played a show, and we would see like another band or another singer, like, "Hey man, we kind of like you, man. Your guitar, we like you." And it's like, "Fuck you, bro! Like get away from my shit!" Like this is mine. This is us right here. So, but I feel like with you guys, it's like, who cares, man? Like there's like 20 bands I'm in. I don't care. Like you guys need help. I that trips me out about like your guys' whole vibe right there.
Yeah, I
Um.
remember like there'd be shows where, like, it'd be like three different bands on stage, like three different bands for the night, but it would just be like the three different bands with just
Same
same
members.
same musicians, just all switching, and like it was like the same group.
I think
It's
we
funny.
threw a festival here one time at up here in Uptown Whittier, down the street from the studio that we were staying at. I think you're familiar with the studio too, right?
Yeah.
At the club, I think it was called Sage.
Oh
I
yeah.
Mm.
think it
Was
was.
it
Yeah, I think it was at Sage.
It was Sage.
And it was all of us. It was all the musicians there that day, and everyone would be in each other's bands. And there were some musicians that just never got off the stage that night. Just because they were working all night long. You know.
Yeah.
Is it because of the community is just so small? Like they're like growing up, I didn't really know any horn players or any sax players. Like I mean, they were in band, but I don't know. Is it maybe just because it's a small community? There's only so many guys that can play the horn that's your age,
I don't know. I just feel like we all trusted each other. You know what I mean? Like we knew we can throw someone in the fire. Like, hey, like learn this song tonight, and we're gonna play it later today. You know what I mean? Or like hear the song on the phone outside, and like, oh yeah, we're gonna do the song. it was things like that. Like just like learning songs on the spot, and just being able to like have that chemistry on stage. You know what I mean? Where we can just look at each other and know the change. You know what I mean? It was one of those things.
Have you guys ever thought about doing like I remember like back in the day there was like a label that was I think Roadrunner Records, but what was cool about them is that they would do that. Like they would have like, Slipknot singer, but then the band of like Seven Dust, which was cool because like you're like, oh, this is like a whole nother side. Like it's like Tony style with then like another singer. It was like really cool, to kind of see that. Is that ever something that you guys may want to do with like just do a big community, like everybody just join up on one big album project?
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's something that we've thought about, but I think things are heading in that direction.
Yeah.
Just naturally. It's one of those things that I feel like is gonna happen naturally.
Dude, that'd be
Where
so awesome.
us and probably guys from the Sinceres, Joe, the Altons, all those bands, Trish, everybody. I feel
Yeah.
like yesterday's for sure, man. I think eventually we're all gonna be on one stage together and
Dude.
everyone stage at the same time. If a stage can hold all those people.
Yeah. I mean, how cool would that be? Like that would be so freaking cool. I just like seeing like the other side, like it's always cool to see like, what Ataro would do with like Los Yesterdays, like, what they come up with, and then, Tony with, with Joey, I mean, you guys already do that as it is, you might as well just put it on a record,
Yeah.
How many songs do you think you've written between all you guys? How many songs do you think you put together? It's got to be hundreds, right?
Like in all groups or like just
Yeah. Like how many songs in your lifetime, how many songs have you guys think you've put together like either individually or
put a number to that, man?
I mean, there's days we're writing songs, like a couple songs a day, and then there's dry periods too where you're not writing any music, but hundreds and hundreds. I don't know.
That's so crazy.
Sure in the hundreds, man.
Yeah, just I don't know. Like you, I mean, I feel like sometimes you write a song like 1 year, and then like you forget about it. You put it in the back burner. You know what I mean? And then 5 years later, it comes up again, and like and it comes like the next whatever band you're in. That song comes out in that band. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I feel like you always have songs in the back pocket, like they're ready, and in the right moment, the right situation, it kind of like resurfaces.
Yeah, like
It's
what's
kind of
the what do you think is like the magic formula to like write a song? Is it just like where do you get like I mean, there's so many songs. Like where do you get this inspiration? You know?
Man, just everyday life.
Life.
Yeah,
Life is a good inspiration.
yeah, everyday life. An experience. Someone will say something and like, oh shit, that makes a good hook for a song. Once in a lifetime. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna use those words and I'm gonna turn that into a song. And then I feel like the chemistry here, the way that we work is, my better skills are might be coming up with a hook and Eric will fill in the verses. I might just come up with a hook and Eric's capable of coming up with the verses or vice versa. And then Atara fills it in too with the sweet melodies and all that, and eventually a song is created. And that's the way we work as a team right here. Just someone come with one thing, another one fill in the blanks, and everyone
Yeah.
everyone putting in their input, and it turns into a great song.
We kind of just play off of each other too, like what our different experiences and things like our expertises. We kind of just play off of each other.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do you guys I okay, so when the song dropped and I seen that you guys went live, I mean like you guys are straight up like giddy, like little high school kids, like it's like your first like this is like our first song, like and it was awesome to see because you really don't see that, like most bands that are, doing what you guys are doing are kind of like, yeah, it is we're the shit, but it was like so much giddiness, like it's so much like it was like, man, you guys were so happy. And I love that. I love that as a fan, like watching you guys just be so excited. And the label, let's talk about the label. So is this why we're super excited? Because this is the label's first song and it like hits. So can you
Yeah,
talk
well,
about
I mean,
that?
it's a combination of everything. I mean, because Atara was very new to our group
Yeah.
and to this scene. The more the soul scene. I mean, she has a lot of like history in different scenes, reggae scene and stuff. So introducing her as a singer uh, was very exciting for us because we knew we had like dynamite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just very excited to share this, and we couldn't wait to like people to like listen to it. You know what I mean? So it was a combination of that, like have like like sharing Atara as our singer for the first time, the label putting out their first record. You know what I mean? And just like the response, like I think that was the most exciting thing. The response, like how like this record sold out, everyone just like messaging us and telling us how much they loved it. Are you gonna have more records? And just like you know what I mean? It was just an amazing response from the fans, from a new group, from a new label, from a new singer. It was just like a really a success story in overall for everybody. So I think we're all excited about that. It's just like win after win. New and it was our first music video.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of firsts in this first record. This record, the illusions off of Blackbird. It was a success story for us.
And I think every song we put out, we might have that same, emotion
Yeah.
within us, the giddiness, the excitement, just because, you know, every song that we're putting out is because we love the song just as much. We can drive around listening to that song too and be like, damn, who the hell is this? Oh shit, that's us. And and we blow our minds sometimes too, like, oh damn, we just created that, like that came out of us, and it's still yeah.
For real.
And so that's why you see that excitement and that emotion in us. And being that we Eric created a record label and we were able to put our record out through there. We created a band and we were able to put our record out through Eric's label. It was just a just a tower of power, pretty much. Everybody just stacking each other's what is it, skills, and using them to help each other out.
Exactly, and I want to add to that too. I mean, I think me and Tony exactly. We're really excited to see like Atara on the forefront. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think we've seen Atara in so many different like bands and settings and stuff,
Genres.
genres, and like to see her like actually in the front stage with the lights and all the production and the sound and like just having like singing it like she's been doing all her life. You know what I mean? And that was exciting because we were all kind of like excited that Atar was in this group, and you know we're gonna showcase her talent, and it was gonna be a beautiful situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I love that, man. I love that. You know, there's just that you guys just loving what you're doing, and also too, like I want to talk about like the music like coming out because like, do you guys know it's magic off the top, or are you just waiting for that approval? Because I think that's the big one, right? Because you're always like, I don't know, you know, like I know, but then I don't know, and then all of a sudden it like drops, and it's like, whoa, like.
I think we know like when even when like sometimes Tony would be in the piano playing some chords, Atara would be like, damn, I like that. You know what I mean? We already know like
Yeah.
that. We're onto something special. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to like blow it up to be bigger than it is, but it's just it's something like that when you hear like a melody or a chord and like you feel something, you know, and we want to tell a story. I feel like we know that there's something magical happening.
And I think we like what we're doing, you know, and I think it's just a happy accident, or it's just so happens that other people are responding. But I think initially we love what we're doing. So that
Yeah.
translates, you know, when other people hear it, I feel like that translates.
Yeah, it really does. And then, you know, again, the songs are just great. Definitely, if you guys haven't heard these songs, check them out. Follow the Illusions. They got some really good stuff. They're like they're kicking it off. You guys are like definitely trending in the right direction. Like every time there's a release, it's always big. It's always gets sold out really quick. So definitely give them a follow. So again, we're going to do an interview here. This was just kind of, again, a pre-interview, just kind of let everybody know that this is going to go down. And on February 22nd, this interview will be released, and you know how we do. So definitely look out for that. So again, just want to thank you guys for doing this little live. We had some fans come on. I didn't see any questions come out that I seen, but I do see everyone kind of giving the thumbs up and all that good stuff. And I do see some people watching. So again, thank you again. I'll give you guys another email here. We'll get back on and do the formal interview. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, it will be on February 22nd, The Illusions. We'll be dropping another little documentary that everybody could watch. All right. Thank you again.
See you guys.
Bye.